Good morning, gorgeous souls. It's morning. Your time to start to shine. And this is week 13, can you believe it, of the series that I've been doing where I have interviewed amazing, powerful, intuitive women that basically are following their emotions and their experiences and allowing them to guide them in finding and following their dreams. And this morning I got Anita on, and Anita and I go back 2 years because we're both are big fans of networking. So we would have met. And I just think she is amazing. She is. I've always thought she's amazing. She has an energy that's within her that just allows her to shine.
Hello, hi. I'm just getting set up here because I'm not really used to this. So just 1 second now.
No, you do perfectly.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, so we're all set up.
Lovely and looking gorgeous as always.
Thank you, Maria. And you're looking your fabulous self.
Well, I know, I love the thing about Instagram is I love the little things that you can put. So, oh, it's
It
got a
looks
bit of
really,
sparkle.
and that really suits you. There's sparkle and shine.
That's it. So Anita and I go back probably, oh God, about 5 or no more. So I
2000 and
joined Network in 2014, and I would have met you through that.
yes, I think it
And
was
I
either 2015 or 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would have been through the a lot of experiences together and during the network. And so what is it about networking that you like, Anita? Because we'll start there because, you and I are the same thing. We totally believe in the power of women when they come together and what it is that they can create. So what drew you to, say, Network Ireland and the Dublin branch at the time? Because that's where I was.
I suppose, first of all, I was very nervous of networking, but I had resumed a position where part of my role was to go and join networks. So that was
I
the
remember
initial
that.
push.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and for me, I was so nervous going that I thought I'm going to be surrounded with all these amazing businesswomen and I'm just going to be looked at this stupid little girl. And I was just full of nerves, and I had this unattainable, everybody on this unattainable pedestal. And I remember being so nervous. My hands were shaking with
Yeah.
my first network experience. Anyway, I get there, and I can only say I was blown away with the camaraderie, just the lovely personalities, just the most amazing, fabulous business women that really took me under their wings. That's all I
Yeah.
can say. And I had, through my own personal growth journey, I had always heard, the saying is, you are the measure of the people that you most hang around with, or you are, well, my God, that's what happened to me. It's
Yeah.
like you's all rubbed your sparkle off yourselves to me, because you's really empowered me for the journey that I've been on. And I'm so grateful to actually network Dublin, and it's particularly yourself, Helen, Anne Marie, Graham. Yeah, God, when I didn't believe in myself, you guys believed in me, and I'm forever
Yeah.
grateful for that. So for me,
Yeah.
networking was amazing. It's a really safe place to be with like-minded women and people that you inspire to be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who said this quote now, is you can't be what you can't see. So if you really, really have a goal or a dream, go to those networking events where there is women that have those qualities or goals that you would
Yeah.
like to attain, because yeah, it was a wonderful experience. So yes, I'm really, really
And
grateful.
you're absolutely right, because when I joined networking, I was still working as a nurse. So, but I had this CD that I created for children called "You Have the Power," and I wanted a place that I could go, that I could start promoting it and talking about it, and that this was something that I wanted to put out there. And it was funny because the women that I met were really successful what they were doing, and they were looking at me as an equal, and I was going, what? You know,
Yes.
well, you've achieved all of this, but they didn't see, it's almost like they see the spirit within you as opposed to what it is, you
Yes.
know. So,
Yes.
and that's very much,
Yeah.
and, you know, because when I met you, and I know you were saying that you were nervous, and the role that you were doing pushed you into to doing the networking. But, you know, I think I always saw as being destined to stand out.
Oh,
You know, Anita would be, I said, Anita, you could definitely be Network Dublin president. She said, no, I couldn't. And I said, oh, you could. And I said, if you really wanted, I said, you could be Network Ireland president. She said, no, I
you're
couldn't.
so
But,
kind.
you know, I think a lot of what it is that you've gone through over the years has been you discovering, you know, your
Exactly.
sense of self and your sense of your own power, and actually recognizing that within you. You
Yes.
know, because when you were leaving, say, the role because you were part of the Buff Day Spa, and you were going through, you knew in your heart and soul that something was coming up for you, you
Yes.
know, that there was something that you needed to do. And I remember talking to you at that time, and, you know, we use up so much energy when we're trying to make a decision, when we're just before we're going to go
To
and
go
take
do
that
that
leap.
jump because you're
Yeah,
programmed to think, you
yeah,
know, stay in a safe job. You know, at the time I had my son, and I had a mortgage. Well, I still do have a mortgage, but you know, you're kind of programmed to say, you know, don't take these you know, these risks. Stay in the safe. Stay in the, you know, and your
yeah,
mother, your father, and although they only want the best for you, and because
yeah,
especially for somebody like me that doesn't come from an entrepreneurial background,
yeah.
doing anything outside having a bloody safe job is like an absolute no. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was, I mean, I must have wrecked your head at that time.
No, 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 not at all. A lot of it is sometimes that we need just the support for
Yeah,
somebody to say to us, listen, you can do it. And
yeah.
then you do, and you know, it's funny, when you do make the decision,
It's
then it's
made.
like, yeah, it's like all the burdens that you had, they all fall
It
away,
fall
you
away.
know.
You
So,
just,
and then it's like, oh, you only see the positive or the momentum that you build up, then that keeps you going.
the
So,
hardest part is making the decision, but
yeah,
once it's made, it's
yeah,
like a free fall of, oh my god, I've done it. I've done something that was I wanted to do for so many years, and the freedom, and you become this person. It's now or never, or it's, you know, I just have to do it. There's no
yeah.
option to fail now because I've left the job, the safe job that you've been, you know, told to have for so many years. And
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. So once a decision is made, it's made.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, you stop fighting with yourself.
Yeah, you can stop fighting yourself. That's true.
And that's the biggest thing, because in your heart and soul, this is a decision you know you need to make, and you know it's the right one for you. But you know, you start fighting. You say, no, you know, I'm safe where I am, and no, you know, I want to go. So it's a really interesting journey. And at that time, what is it that you wanted to create, Anita? You know, that you were leaving the Buff Day Spa. What is it the next step that you wanted to create? That you know, that taking that leap that allowed you to create?
Well, I suppose for me, if I was to start off on my personal journey, on my personal career journey,
Yeah,
many moons ago, I was a single mom working as a part-time beauty therapist. And because I'm from the inner city, I got an opportunity to go back to college at my time because I'd never been to college.
yeah.
And I mean, I had never like gone to a proper college where at the time, and I'm so embarrassed to tell, but I will say
Oh
the
no.
USB stick, I didn't know what one was. So I got
Yeah.
it. I know, it's so funny. So I got an opportunity to go back to college at night time to do business management while I was working as a part-time beauty therapist and being a
Okay.
single mom at the time. Um, and I loved it. It wasn't that I wanted to get away from beauty because I loved beauty, because I did love making people feel good. So that was one thing I
Yeah,
knew I was good at. So it was kind of a natural thing that I would go into beauty. But as time
yeah,
went on, I realized, you know, I was on my own and that I had to make a better life for my son at the time, because he was just a baby, and we had nobody else to depend on. So I went back to college. It was really, really hard. And in the interim, I did read The Secret. And yeah, and I realized that, you know, from reading The Secret and starting to do the personal growth, because I knew I had to change or grow myself in order to be a better, I suppose, mother, provider for my son. So I did a lot of personal growth, and I went back to college, and I just had this huge revelation, or I don't know, you'd probably call it an aha moment, that I had spent, so I was a late bloomer. I'm talking about going back to college at about 28, 29. And so I was definitely a late bloomer. But what I had realized was that, you know, that life wasn't happening to me, that I did actually have control. I did have that power within. And I feel sorry for the amount of people that actually don't realize that. A lot of us, and at that time I would have thought that, you know, this is the life that you're given. You're from the inner city, didn't do particularly well in school. You know, I went into beauty because the one thing I was good at was making other people feel good and not myself feel good. You know, so yeah, and when I went into the whole personal growth, I did a seminar in the Bahamas. I got an opportunity. I realized I had this power within, that I could actually change my life, that I was the one in control. And a lot to do with it was the thoughts of how I felt about myself, and who the box that I put myself into. You know, I'm very proud to be from the inner city, but, you know, you have this kind of road or what you think is going to happen in your life, and everything outside of that is just unattainable. To be for me to be a business owner was like being the president of the USA. That's how unattainable it was. That's how unattainable. You know, I just didn't see myself, or I just felt I didn't have the education, the, you know, the background, or so it was something that you wouldn't even think of pursuing. And it's and when you realize that actually everybody has this power, everybody has this power, and all it's just about tapping into that that power. So yeah. So then, so how my career evolved, and I became a manager of a salon, which I dearly loved for many, many years. And on the last recession, not that I had to, but my career took a detour into the fitness and supplement industry. So I did that for another many years, and then I finally got an opportunity to go back to the beauty industry in the Buffet Spa as a business manager. And I suppose the final jump was, you know, I had done all this work on myself. I had learned how to help companies. And yet I was still afraid to actually do it for myself. And yeah, when I went to the network, I started building my confidence up as even though I had a role of being a business manager, I still didn't feel I was a business manager.
Like something you were playing as opposed to something you were being.
Yeah, I was playing a role, or, you know, but I wasn't actually. So as I suppose my confidence grew, being around all the other business ladies, and and now I'm here and I own 3 businesses. So, so yeah, the leap of faith was good to me.
I know. Well, I tell you, that's why I say, you know, when I would have met you, the spark that's within you, you know, it just needs to be fed. That's all, you know, and that's where, you know, your sense of self and your sense of, you know, of your own abilities, and also, you know, surrounding yourself with positive people. You know, the importance of that.
It's what I would say is you're absolutely number one, to be around other people, like-minded people, or people who you inspire to be with. For somebody like me, it was very hard, almost sometimes. You know, you would see inspirational speakers, or you would read books, and you would get lots of value from them. But what was the tricky thing for me was, you know, this person became successful because they wrote a book. They had the capabilities of writing a book, and they had the education to write a book, or somebody had changed their career, which is very, very scary, but maybe they were an accountant, or had what I would have considered at that time a really, really good job. And then they changed their life, which is, I'm not to discredit, but, changing careers is a huge thing. But for somebody like me that, felt I'm uneducated, I'm a part-time mother, it's very hard to make that switch. And that's where really personal growth, tapping into that universal God-given spirit that you're given, and being around the right people. And so that was the real thing for me. And I know there's so many people like me that would look and go, sure, she already has, especially,
excuse. I mean, it wasn't hard for her at all. Sure, listen, she had this or she had that.
But it just goes to show you, it's not just for the elites, it's not just for the educated, it's for everybody.
Of course.
We all have
Absolutely.
And it's just about tapping into that spirit, or and reprogramming your mind to see the best version of yourself, opposed to being the lesser version of yourself.
Of course. And because when you were leaving that time, you wanted to, it was to yourself and your partner to create the hair cafe, wasn't it?
Yes.
And that was a big step, so it was.
A huge step. As I said, being a business owner, and there was a long time that I actually, it was a year or two before I actually seen myself as a business owner. I would even downplay, it's just a small little salon, or, like still, stepping into that role was still, so we're always evolving. We're always working on ourselves, as they say. But so it was a challenge, and it was a challenge to start being that person, that business owner, because as I said, being a business owner was like being a president of the USA to somebody like me. So it's very, very, very hard.
And you're absolutely right. There's a process involved.
There's a total process.
You do something to actually let it integrate so that you can actually feel it. So it's like you're doing it first, and then it's to be it. So tell us about the hair cafe, and where is it?
So Hair Cafe is, I'm not sure if any of the viewers have seen it. It's a very urban chic salon. It's absolutely fabulous. It's in Smithfield. We've got 10 staff. We've grown so much that we grew from small salon across to a bigger salon, which had a small barbers inside, and now we've grown again. So we've moved the barbers back over to the small salon. So we've actually got Barber Cafe now and Hair Cafe. In Smithfield. So it's amazing. The staff are really amazing, really invested into the business. We really want to change the way the hair industry have been viewed. We have a health and wellness program in our salon. So for us, as a salon grows, we want the people within the salon to grow. So a health and wellness program was really, really important to us, because if they're happy, content in their lives, they're going to be happy and content. To the most important people is the actual customers. So it's really, really important to us. And we just felt as we grow, we want everybody to grow.
So how have you found the last, it's been particularly challenging because you had such constraints put upon you of, what it is that you had to do, and the routes that you had to, and the fact also that you had to close down, so you still had all of these things that, that bills that you had to pay, and maintaining. So Anita's been off to.
So funny. Of all the things that happen, your dog starts barking.
Things like that happen. It's like, yes, this is real life. I've got to go attend. So how did you maintain? Like, how did you keep going during the? Because it's been tough.
To be honest, when we got the news that we had to close the salon, my initial feeling thoughts where I have spent so long and so hard to get here.
Yeah.
And not to say that I've worked any harder than anybody else, but I have really
Yeah.
fought for this and really invested in myself to change, to be, to achieve having this salon. And it was just at heart. So my initial thing was fall apart.
Yeah.
And then something inside me, and it's like that once you have one imprint of success, it does help for the next. And that's why I kind of refer to is when you have no imprint of success, it's very, very hard to make that jump. But
Yes.
I'm a real type of person where I always say to everybody, really, really celebrate your wins. Really, really, even if they're the smallest wins, because they do imprint on you and they do help you for when challenging times come up in the future. So, you know, even the smallest little thing, which is something I wouldn't have done. I would have always looked at the negative of myself and put myself down. Whereas now I celebrate every little thing, because I know it imprints. So yeah, so I picked myself off and I dusted myself down, and I had been playing with this idea of so my partner was really, really into the health of the hair. And as I said to you, I had a career change where I went into the fitness and supplement industry. And so I had a lot of knowledge about supplements. And although there's fantastic supplements out there in the chemist, he was always telling his clients, you know, really healthy hair comes from within. I just thought to myself, you know what? Not one salon actually sells a supplement. You know, that's revenue, first of all, out your door. And second of all is, you know, really healthy hair comes from within. And the better the hair, the better the results for the client. And the better the client would feel. And I just knew the importance of supplements. So I had done a bit of research beforehand, but I was, again, back to that terror barrier of being afraid to launch what people would think and all these things. But I suppose the pandemic and the lockdown of the business actually pushed me with this project. And yeah, so our product is, and I'm really proud to say that our product is manufactured here in Ireland. So that was their kind of non-negotiables. This is not a white label. It's manufactured, developed, owned here in Ireland. And I've just got the news that we have just been a finalist for Irish County Magazine for Irish made products. So that's very exciting. So please get voting. Everybody needs to vote.
So how did they vote, Anita?
The link is in my bio. So if everybody could please, because I really put my heart and soul into this. And the fact that it works, that's the number one. That was the good and negotiable. I just didn't want to bring out a supplement for the, you know, to say that it's a hair supplement. I wanted something that was performance. And so if I would say we're the top performing supplement with before and after photographs. It's fully natural. There's no bulking agents in it. So just to kind of give everybody an idea is a lot of supplements would have bulking agents to bulk out the product, whereas we've actually added in more good ingredients like spirulina, wheat barley, wheatgrass to actually bulk out the product. So it's double good for you. And not only is it amazing for your hair, it's also a really, really good for you. So we've got lots of vitamin C, zinc, really good for your immune system. So not only the feedback we get a lot of feedback to say that their hair feels amazing, their skin feels amazing, their nail feels amazing, and they feel amazing. So it's amazing to have a product on the market that's actually really, really good for somebody. I'm really proud to say,
And it's in different form, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. A Nutri. And where did the name come from?
Oh, so funny story. So the company was called Salon Nutri, but we couldn't officially use that name because there was another company called Nutri Salon. So we were working with our designer, and he said, "Why don't you do something with your name, or you know, and your name and Nutri?" And so we start researching it, and Nutri actually means nourish from within. So it was
Oh,
just, it was like the heavens had
that's
handed us
fulfilling
the name. Yeah.
prophecy.
So the name is Ann-Nutri, Anita and Nutri, and it
Yeah,
actually means nourish from within. So it was just the perfect one, because that's really what it is we're nourishing from within.
yeah. And so, how many capsules a day would you need to take? And what is the recommended? Because a lot of people that come to you, um, well, they want to replenish their hair, like for women after pregnancy,
Yeah.
and now you're getting fabulous results for men as well with baldness. You
Yeah.
know, it
If you go
wasn't. I don't
look
think.
at our Instagram,
Yeah,
we have an amazing before and afters with for guys. So it's for everybody.
yeah,
I'm not sure if everybody has seen Roz Purcell's. So Roz Purcell is an amazing model, Irish model, and she's very well respected. And the reason why she's so well respected is she's so authentic,
yeah,
and she just doesn't post about anything. Now, this
yeah,
had nothing to do with us. It wasn't paid. She was genuinely taking our product. She had a kind size alopecia at the back of her head, and her
yeah,
hair was not just grown, and she wanted to take out her extensions.
yeah.
And she was a very brave, all I can say is a very brave woman to bear herself and to show herself with her hair issues, especially with the
Yeah,
bald patch at the back.
yeah,
But she had showed a before and after photograph of how her hair had started growing, and
yeah,
how her bald patch had completely disappeared.
yeah,
And she contributed a Nutri Grow It by a Nutri, and she was just genuinely taking our product.
isn't
So
that
it was an
amazing?
amazing, that was an
Yeah,
amazing push for such a small, startup Irish business.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was amazing.
Do you know what? And I keep saying, every time I say to Anita, I said, "You're going to be a millionaire. You're going to be a millionaire." I said, "Yes, you will." And it's not just the fact of being a millionaire, and what that means, but it's just your attention to detail, the authenticity, the magic of manifestation, and creating a product that you totally and wholly believe in, putting the best of everything into it. The fact that it's Irish, the
Yeah.
fact that, yeah, and the importance of that. That it's just going to grow and grow and grow. And you supply to salons as well, don't you?
Yeah, so we are salon exclusive. So we are in 160 salons in Ireland.
Yeah,
And we just launched into the UK. So we're in a couple of salons in the UK, but you can also buy online as well. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a very proud
Yeah,
moment.
absolutely. This is like and you did all of this on top of having baby Kai.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't
So
you
yeah,
didn't have enough to be doing.
in the mix of it all, I had a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know because I know for a long time, that this was also, he's been calling to you for a good few
Very
years.
long time.
Because,
Yeah.
I talked to Anita and she said, "Oh yeah," she said, "I would just love another baby."
Yeah.
And so, because that was a journey in itself.
Absolutely,
To get
yeah.
to
So
there.
yeah, and it's a journey that most women don't really talk about. So I myself had 3 miscarriages. When I had the miscarriages, you know, I thought I was the only one. A lot of people just don't talk, especially
Yeah,
the Irish,
yeah,
the older
yeah,
generation. They just don't talk about it. So, yeah. So he was definitely was calling me for a very long time. But
yeah. And
I
how old
just
is he now?
He's
How old
due
is he
actually
now?
at the end of the month. Yeah, yeah.
So, do you find, because there's a whole thing, and I don't know whether you've heard about it, but the children that are coming in this generation over the last few years, that they're coming in with a different agenda. They're coming in with less karma. That they're actually coming in to change the world. So it's not surprising that he would have you as his mom, and it's something that for you to look into, because you know, they're going to do, he's going to do things differently even to your other son
Yes.
because, you know, he's here. So for you in following your dreams, you know, I do say, and I'm getting my words all mixed up now, but empowered women, powerful
Yes.
children.
Yes.
And the amount of work that you have done on yourself and creating that magic of manifestation and, you know, these superpowers that you have that we all have, but that you have actually worked on and allowed to grow and allowed to manifest and allowed to create, you know, for him to have you as your template, you know, basically he's just going to, he in turn is going to have a huge impact on
And hope.
your family and your city and your world and our world as well, because that's what they're here to do.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's your biggest wish for your children is
Yeah,
that you can be some sort of good example for them. Yeah. So, but I will say the one thing that I would like to say is that it's nothing to do with your education, where you're from, what
totally.
family you're from, where you've been. It's everybody has this power within, and it's definitely about working on yourself first,
Yeah,
that will change your life.
yeah. And that doesn't mean to say that we get it right all the time because we
Yeah.
are human. And as you know, with challenges that come up, I often say to myself, you know, do you know what? I thought I was done with this. Am I not
No,
growing
you're
enough?
never done.
Am I
You're
not
never.
growing enough? You
I
know?
don't think you're ever done, Marie. We're
No, no, you're
constantly
not.
evolving
Yeah,
and working on ourselves. And you know,
yeah,
if your goal is to be the best version of yourself, then that's what you're going to do. You're going to continue to try and grow and be
yeah.
that best version, and forgive yourself for, you know, stuff that you've maybe done in your past. As I'm not sure, is it Oprah says, you can only do the best that you can do of where you are at that time.
Yeah, of
And
course. And I
yeah,
think, yeah, and that's totally true because you can't judge, you know, what happened 10 years ago from where you are now because you are a
exactly.
very different person. You know, and we do learn and evolve and grow. And you know, we integrate those experiences and they become part of the wisdom that we gain along the way. And that's why, you know, for me, when I'm working with women, it's women, you know, that I see something in them that they don't see in themselves. You know, the way I saw in you that, you know, you're this bright, shining light. And every woman has it, but it's just allowing themselves to grow it, you know, to the experience that we give almost our fuel, you know, that feed the fire, you know, the bad, the good, bad, and the ugly. And they feel the feel, and that's all they are. But we put meaning on it that we're not good enough, and that, you know, oh, you know, I'm not meant to be doing that, or, but there's still something behind, there's still something within that guides them that, you know, even though they're saying that and their ego is saying that, there's still something within them that's pushing them forward and that doesn't allow them to give up. That, you know, and sometimes it's just waiting for the right person to come along so and the right time and the right set of circumstances where you go and you say, okay, that's it. I've had enough. I'm going to change my life now. I think I'm worth it. And you go. I remember the first course I did because, you know, as a wife and a mother and three children and, you know, being a nurse and a midwife. So it was always caring and giving and giving. And was a whole loss of sense of self and sense of identity that you can get lost in the roles that you were playing and not feeling yourself. And I remember the first course I ever did was like, who am I? And that was it. And it literally came down to, I had
Yeah.
no idea because of all the roles that I was playing and all the giving that I was giving to. And I thought, okay, you know, as women, we get take pleasure in
Yes.
giving, but also we need to create something within ourselves,
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
know.
The biggest investment is the investment into yourself, and especially as a woman, I think.
Yeah.
It's funny, like I scrambled when I was as an employee, I scrambled for success, and I really swam against that river for success for a very, very long time. And it's only the day that I stopped and start being grateful for what I had and start spending time on myself and working on myself that success came. So
Yeah.
we've actually got it the wrong way around. We think, you know, success is going to bring you the happiness, success is going to give you what you want. And it's actually not, it's actually yourself is going to give it to you. So
Oh,
working on
no.
yourself
Yeah.
and investing in you is actually going to give more to the people around you. It's going to give more to your career, and it's going to give more to your success. So, well, that's exactly what happened for me. You know, I spent, you know, up to my 30s before I even allowed working on myself as an option.
Yeah. And I can so totally see you doing motivational speaking in
Uh,
school. Well, particularly, you know, from the inner city, from where you are, you know, there's lots of flames there that need to be lit, you know, and
Absolutely.
you know, and I think that's part of the reason, you know, and I know it's part of the reason why you're there, because of what it is that, you know, that you could see in yourself, that you allowed to grow, and that you allowed, and what it is you overcome from, you know, your background and your surroundings or whatever, and what you've transcended. So, you know, that's totally in your future as well. When you're a millionaire, and, you know,
I
and
wish.
she's one
I
of
love the
us.
way you have so much faith in me and so much love for me. Thank you, Maria. You're so kind.
Oh no, you just, you know, it's just, this is just going to happen. You know, the way things have happened in your life, you know, the way that COVID gave you the opportunity to create, there's always going to be opportunities in your life that are going to send you in a direction. You know, you have a business that that you've set up with yourself and your partner, you know, two businesses, you know, that you've set up, that's there, and that, you know, that's created. And the Nutri now is your next business that's just waiting to go, you know.
Yes.
So why not? You know, the next part of it is then talking about how you got there, and how, you know, important it is to, you know, but also in working with yourself, I think, going to people that will see in you what you don't see in yourself, I think is
Absolutely.
really, really, really important.
Yes.
Um,
And I think that's what happened in network
yeah,
building for me. Yeah.
yeah. So what's next then, Anita?
Um, what is next? Okay, so I just won an award. Just hold on 1 second and I get it. So I won the Network Ireland Power Within Award for Dublin. So I'll be representing Dublin for the Nationals in October. So I'm really, really excited about that.
Yeah.
Um,
You found yourself.
so that's
Oh,
really, really exciting.
yeah.
We launched just in the UK recently, so that's another
Yeah.
really exciting thing. So there's lots of exciting things coming on. Yeah, and you know, Hair Cafe it's getting back up off its feet at the moment.
Yeah.
So and that's really where it all began, and we're very excited about that. But yeah, our Nutri is just phenomenal, and we just want to add more products to the line, and yeah, see where it
Yeah.
goes.
What would you like to add to it?
To the line of
You
products.
know, do you think so? A Nutri is going to be, that will be the name, and then you will have like different products. So is there something that you have in mind that you'd like to go on and create next, or is it all
Um,
in the way there?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a secret at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we are going to be adding, but they're all going to be natural based products,
Yeah.
and they're all going to be manufactured here in Ireland. So that's a kind of our little absolutes or non-negotiables. So we're very
Yeah.
excited about that.
And
Yeah.
can I ask you just one thing? Did you find it easy when you were developing it? Did you find it easy to find some place in Ireland where you could create this? Because, you know, sometimes, you know, the way, what I suppose what I'm asking is, did things sort of like fall into place for you, or did you?
I think when you've got your mind set, things kind of develop that way. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
knew exactly what we wanted, and yeah, like I mean, for us, the quality was more important than the actual. You know, a lot of white labels will be that much cheaper, and
Yeah.
so it's to do with how you feel, the ethically of your business.
Yeah.
But that was really important to us. So yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Mount Kai.
Yeah, mum to Kai. Yeah. So yeah. So Kai
That's,
is
Yeah.
two in I can't believe how fast it's gone. Two in the end of this month, and
Yeah.
he's a gorgeous little boy. And yeah, so I was very, very, very lucky to have him. So he's my rainbow baby.
Yeah, yeah. And for him to go and lead the life that to follow his dreams. And
Yes,
if anybody's going to allow that to happen, you know, it will be yourself and his dad. So it will.
I just have to put my phone.
Listen, yeah, listen, Anita, do you know what? I just love you. Anyway, I think you're
I love
great.
you.
And the very best of luck with the Network Awards, which are taking place so for
October.
anybody that joins the network, whatever, this is Network Ireland, and the branch we're talking about was the Network Dublin, of which I was president in 2017.
Where
I
to
had,
you?
yeah, it was the best year I ever had. It was just, I know it's the most stressful and also the most empowering, but it brought me the most joy of anything that I have. You were talking about your template for success. The feeling that came, in doing that year fueled me, for many a year after that. But within each branch, so the branches all over Ireland, there's over I don't know how many members there are now. There's a couple of thousand
Yeah, it's one
members.
of the largest networking organizations in Ireland. So yeah,
Yeah. And so within each branch, then you have the opportunity where you can actually go in for an awards, and there are many different categories, from new businesses to established to rising stars to, the category that you were in. And then everybody comes together in September, October time. And so they all go against each other, and then there'll be an overall winners in whatever categories. So wishing you and all the
you.
contestants in the
Thank you
network.
so much for having me, Maria.
Yeah, oh no, it's great. And it's just, it probably won't be until next year till everybody will be able to get to meet, to meet in person. But by God, there'll be some party, so there will be.
Hopefully.
Bye,
Okay, thank
darling.
you.
Lovely
Thank you so
to
much.
meet you. And so good to
Bye.
talk to you.
Oh,
Bye,
it's
Anita.
actually 11:11 at the moment now.
Bye, darling.
Bye. Bye. Bye.